record to your computer.
Oh, okay. I won't do the recording. I'll just do the streaming.
Okay.
Right, so hopefully that's working your end.
Alright, hopefully.
Yeah, I've not done it this way before.
But yeah, let me just know when you go live, and I'll put out an announcement on Twitter right now. Hopefully.
It's already live, yeah. I've just
Okay,
looked. Yeah,
cool.
it is
Cool.
live.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see. Oh, I'm trying to load the wrong channel here.
Well, hopefully people can hear me. Can people write if they can hear me?
Yeah, it seems to have sound.
Yeah, I've muted mine on here.
Okay.
Let's do a pop out.
Alright. Cool. Welcome, Care. I know I haven't changed the name of the stream yet. Creative.
Is it gaming now? Does that mean I don't have to work?
Gaming hour is in 1 hour after this. 1 hour now, anyway. So it's just like right when you finish, we'll be going right into gaming hour. Oh my gosh.
I'm assuming people can hear us okay.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to put out an announcement on Twitter in just a moment that we're starting. Let me just get to the name of the stream going here.
Good.
Sorry about the cough. I'll try not to do that so often.
I've got the same.
Alright, cool. Let me just got the name of the stream going here. Let me just put out the announcement and then we'll get started. So welcome everybody. Good to see you all joining us now.
I already started. I made a little start earlier. I finished off the paint pots and stuff like that, and I thought, oh, you know.
Oh, great. Are you? Oh, cool. Very good. Well, I mean, it's just a very simple cylinder shape for those that missed the start of this. You know, it's.
Yeah, I mean, it's only,
yeah.
Just doing something simple like that. A fire extinguisher. Yeah, I finished obviously some of the other stuff that we did. Finished off. Finished off all the paint cans today.
There you go. I got a Twitter announcement going out, so we should be seeing a few more people joining us here. So welcome everybody. Lee today will be working on some props for the identity environment. You can see right now that he's showing off a paint can that he just recently finished. It's looking pretty good. It's a full can of paint on this version, but he's also done a couple other versions. And he also is able to change the color of the paint that's inside of the can as well.
Yeah, quickly do that.
Yeah, it looks great.
Been out in the rain.
Awesome.
And I said, have you been out in the rain?
Have I?
Yeah, catch a cold or
Oh,
something.
getting a cold? Yeah, I must. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a blue one. I've also got an empty can. There's a few options we can use there.
Yeah, very cool. Very modular.
Yeah, and obviously it's only a basic thing now. We can put whatever we want on there. People, however, which one you want to put on. What am I doing? Fire extinguisher.
All right, yeah. So Lee today will be modeling a fire extinguisher. He's already got it a little bit started, just so we can you guys can kind of get an idea of where this starts. So he's got the cylinder, the main shaft of the fire extinguisher finished already, and we're gonna see how he builds the rest of this. I'm really excited.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, no worries at all.
I was saying to someone today, like I'm completely self-taught, so I wouldn't even have a clue if I'm doing it right. Imagine if someone like from the professional industry said, "Hang on, he's doing that wrong," or "Oh, that's how you meant to do it."
I think you're doing it right.
I model everything with box modeling, and then I just go from there. Really, it's I do it the simple, old school way.
Yeah, very good.
And then I just go from there. It's I think it's easy enough to do it that way. I think. Yeah, I have people say to me, "Oh, you not got a mic?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I just got 3 screaming kids in the background at most times of the day." So.
Welcome, Attack of the Afro. It was good meeting you during PAX East this year. You're awesome, dude. That's Attack of the Afro in your chat here. He's a big fan of the project. He's waiting. I know, man. I wish I could give you a date now, but we're still working on that.
Yeah, I think that's probably what most of the chat's going to be about. When's this? When's that?
Love you guys. Thank you for joining us for the development stream today. For those that are just now getting in here, as you can see, Lee is creating a fire extinguisher. I haven't told him this yet, but once he's done with the fire extinguisher, I'm also going to assign him a casing for the fire extinguisher so that it can be mounted onto a wall. But I just figured one thing at a time here.
You know me, I've been asking for a challenge for ages. I'll get down to it one day. It'll be like, okay, you're doing this. I'll be like, whoa. I don't mind. This is just the simple stuff, isn't it, really?
Have not forgotten about you, Attack of the Afro.
So you get special treatment.
Not particularly, but we did have a really great conversation when I met him. Really, he's a really cool guy.
I've been offered tickets for a Eurogamer tomorrow, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's a bit short notice.
What about full screen? I think that might just be his layout.
My resolution is 3,440 by 1440. I've got the Asus ultra wide, ultra wide. What's it called? Curved screen.
Yes. So Yayo Mega. What Lee is doing here is working from a 2D reference image. Usually, the process that we start with is we'll go to Google and try to find the reference images that we're looking for each object that we want modeled, and then we hand those reference images off to our artists, and have them model what they see, essentially. And this is the box modeling technique. There's also another technique that is often used and kind of interchangeable is the polygon modeling technique.
Yeah, I haven't done it that way since I've come back. I used to do it that way as well. I just find
Yeah,
this way a little bit easier.
They're both fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get the same result in the end. What I think is crazy is the people that model just with triangles. You know, like I'm a quad guy.
Yeah, quads.
But I've seen people that like just do triangles, and I don't know how they do that. And that's crazy.
No, I know exactly. I mean, I do. Obviously, I model in both. So if a try needs to go in, then I'll put a try in. But
Absolutely, yeah. But not the whole thing. Like you leave that with the export if you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Motown. My voice, the one that you hear, the one that's coughing a little bit, that is a Motown. It's good to see you guys. And then we also have Lee here. That he's the one modeling things. I'm just here to kind of provide commentary and keep you guys entertained while he does this.
Because this isn't exciting.
Oh, it's exciting for me. Like yeah, absolutely.
Mind you, I suppose with you doing what you do, it's the same as when I took the art director role. I just never got to model again, and I was gutted because I used to love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice
I
to get
don't
back to
really.
it.
Yeah, I don't really get to model a whole lot myself anymore. But when I do, it's actually really fun.
Not make a hole. Multi-cut.
Sweet. So you got the base of the handle sort of blocked out there.
Now it's about trying to find a technique to make it all nice and round. Which is it's the fun part. Is trying to find. Well, I usually sort of like so for here, for example, I would then attempt to smooth it. I'd probably have to add a bit more mesh before I smooth it, and then take out all the end-ons and all the vertices that I don't want really from here, and then I'll start adding the holes. So I would usually get the shape first, and then I'd go back and clean it all up. That's what I found is my easier. So if I just get smooth, I might get the result I want, but it's not come out too bad. Still it's a bit too soft though. It needs to be a bit harder.
Yeah, so he is working in kind of windowed mode right now. You could potentially make the screen a little bit bigger if you could just stretch it out, but he can't do full screen because his monitor resolution is some crazy aspect.
Is that? I mean, obviously that's full screen for me, but.
Oh, okay. Wow. That is crazy.
Is it a bit too much then?
We'll see what the chat says, but there are bars on the top and bottom of the screen. It's pretty crazy. Very wide screen. Yes, Lee did say that he is self-taught.
I did go to uni, but I just found obviously when I was at uni, and then I fell into obviously what I was doing, and I had the teachers, the two tutors that obviously were at the university. They ended up working for me, and they don't get me wrong, it filled me with confidence, but they said that basically I've become better than them, right? And that's lovely to hear, but at the same time my attitude then changed to, well, what's the point, why am I here? It was wrong. I should have probably completed the course, but I kind of fell into what I was doing. I was working on it full time. In the end I quit uni, and I'm kind of gutted I did, to be honest. I should have stayed.
And just to give a little background, before this and a few other projects as well, Lee worked on a game called Mortal Online, who a couple of our other developers also worked on in the past, back when Lee was working on that. So that's kind of his development background.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, back when Mortal came out, I think it was like 2008, I think. I can't remember specifically, but like the graphics back then were just amazing. And now, if you look at them, they're a little dated, but it was like revolutionary graphics back when that game first entered beta.
Yeah, I followed that game for God no. I mean, I knew about the game before it was even announced. I used to follow. I remember it was a simple web page, just one page, and they announced it, and then I waited for years and years, and eventually, they started releasing footage and stuff. But yeah, I blagged my way into that job. Proper. It was actually Sown that got me the job there.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Sohn works with us as a programmer. A lot of you guys have seen or met Sohn already. And Sohn also worked on Mortal Online. And Paratus, our project manager and CEO, also worked on Mortal Online as a programmer.
Yeah, it was me and John that actually worked together at the time.
Yeah, very cool.
Right, so this is the time where I'd start cleaning this up.
Yeah, so he's just kind of
trying to get the shape.
Yeah, just trying to optimize the edge flow here.
Yeah, I don't want it to have too many polygons as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing about using the smooth tactic.
Yeah, absolutely. And Camp Troll actually asks, how do you manage to have that much detail in one model without ripping the frame rate? Well, sometimes it involves a process called baking, and that's when you kind of model in high poly, and you bake that detail down onto a low poly mesh, so that it creates the illusion that it's high poly, even though it's low poly. And that's one way to kind of reduce the level of detail in a model. I'm not sure if that's what you're doing here, but so far it's still relatively low poly. You could see that this is about 600 vertices, or sorry, not.
Whole lot's about 1122.
Yeah, 600 faces. What he's working on right now, and that is actually pretty low for a video game, at least in today's standards. Mm-hmm. He could probably get away with 3,000 polygons, and it might actually be up there by the time he's finished with this. But anything above that, that's when you kind of have to start concerning yourself with in-game performance with poly counts.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about performance and stuff, so a lot of my stuff is low poly, but sometimes it ends up, obviously, because I've been out of the industry for a while, so when I come back and then people saying that it's like so many polygons, I'm like, what, really? So it was quite nice to see that.
So I do see a couple other questions I missed here. Can I carry a taser as a self-defense weapon? Yes, you can. There will be tasers in Identity. Especially for police, I think you'll see police with those more commonly. But presume that we'll also have tasers for civilians to carry around. Yes, that is Mortal Online. That is the game that these guys worked on previously.
Yeah, my recent one was Embers of Kara, so.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. That's a game that a lot of our community is waiting for too. Actually, there's a lot of cross interest between Identity and Embers of Karis. That I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, that got canned, sadly.
Oh, you know what? Yes, yeah. You know what? I'm actually confusing. It wasn't Ember. Yeah. I'm. Now that you reminded me that it got canned, that's not what I was thinking of. But yeah. How do you know the hands of the characters will fit? Well, for this particular object, we don't know. And, of course, Lee could bring in a character mesh and compare, kind of fit things to the character mesh. But this is a prop. This is an object that players aren't going to be carrying around. This you'll see, like, in a case attached to a wall in a lot of different building environments, interiors.
My usual trick is I would model it, and then I import the character, and then I just make it scale. I scale it to fit.
Yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's a prop. But if it were an object that's going to be carried by a character, then of course we'd take a lot more care with it to make sure things were properly scaled. Do we follow Police 1013? I've seen the game. We don't really follow it very closely, but I've seen the project. We've interacted with the creator on Facebook a couple times, I think. But really interested in seeing where that goes. Police 1013.
There you go. I can see the chat now.
Oh, good. So I heard you never lose your pledge apartment. That's correct. You won't lose your pledge apartment because you don't pay for taxes or something like that in game. As far as selling that, I don't know yet if we will allow players to sell their apartments, their pledge apartments. But that's going to be something that we're going to have to discuss a little more. It says, don't forget the little plastic rim inside the handle, because the handle is split into two parts. Yeah, I'm assuming that Lee's going to have to kind of look for more reference images later on, because I only gave him one angle.
In what one? Sorry, what regard are they talking about?
There's a little ring inside the handle somewhere that I'm not specifically sure. We'll have to look at that later on.
Yeah, no,
yeah. From a different angle, because I did only give Lee one angle of the fire extinguisher to work from.
I think I did download some.
But that's okay. Carry on with what you're doing, then you can go back and fix whatever needs.
You're not talking about that ring.
Which ring?
Are you talking about the red one? Are they or? Yeah, you have to put out the ring to unlock it. Yeah, that's the red thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I'll just do the handle first, and then I'll add everything else. But that's good to keep that up, actually. It's so nice to actually see a few different references. Yeah. Because I've got to think about UV mapping it after this, and I hate UV mapping things like this. You've got to try and think of the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. Wonder Boy, what is the biggest difference between this game and Gmod besides customization? Well, there's quite a lot. I mean, if you're specifically comparing Identity to Dark RP or Perp in Gary's mod, the Identity is definitely inspired by those game modes as much as it is Altus Life and Arma 3 and Persistent World and Mountain Blade. You know, like the idea is sort of take the best aspects of all of these and all of these life related games and combine them into a standalone game. But as far as the differences go with those things, the Identity is all of that on steroids. Like, you can do so much more in Identity than you can in Gary's mod, Perp or Dark RP. I'll have to take a look at Police 1013's roadmap care. That sounds pretty enticing. Tella, yes, we will have localization for other languages and Identity as well as just English. But the town square that's coming out soon is just English for the time being, but we'll definitely be including additional languages later on. You can have a custom license plate in Identity. You also actually get your own phone number in Identity. So you're assigned a phone number, and other players, if they know your phone number, can call you. And of course, yes, you can block people too if they're annoying.
It's going to have a bevel edge on that. So what have you been working on lately, Sean?
What have I been working on?
Yeah.
I'm just sort of splitting some pieces up from the cinema that we are missing textures for and figuring out what we need to do for that interior. Same with the police department interior. Yeah. Yes, Martina Marley, the Town Square module will be accessible to people that have pledged $30 or more. Right now, if you just pledge $15 on the site, you are able to you'll be able to access the game when it launches without beta access. And for $30, you'll have beta access as well as all of the the 3 modules that we released before that. There are pets in Identity, J-Fly Kid, but at first they will not leave your apartment. They're just stuck roaming around your apartment until we can put more focus into that after launch. But before launch, when pets are first implemented, they will just wander around your apartment. After launch, we'll see about letting some of those animals follow you around the environment, like dogs for hunting, canine units for police, things like that. There will be voice over IP in Identity, like in PUBG. That's one of the main things for us. Actually, without even realizing it, when you log into Identity, you're actually connecting to a TeamSpeak server that's running in the background. You don't have to download anything individually, separate or third party. It's all built into the client. When you download Identity, you'll log directly into this TeamSpeak client that is set up in the game files, and you will not even know that you're connected to it. The map, Wonder Boy, is 225 square kilometers of playable area, land surface. Yeah, we just use the the TeamSpeak STK for that, Mike Berna. You don't even know that you're connected to TeamSpeak with it. We use it mainly for the voice codecs and the voice quality that it allows for. Will there be an app for your real phone, for your phone and identity, so you can talk to your friends? That would be really cool. I know that we really want to do an app for phones that is somehow associated with identity for real phones, but I don't know what kind of functionality that will have. We haven't even really began planning that out yet. But at least come time around launch, we'll probably have some phone app for your real phone that is connected to identity in some way. I just don't know what specifically the features will be included.
Sounds fun.
Hey, Mr. Monopoly Gone. Welcome back, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Trezar, how many people are working on the game? I think we have 13 at the moment working on Identity. Most of these are freelance artists working all over the place remotely, different time zones. But we are opening up our new office in Kanata, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And we're really excited about that. We'll be hiring some people locally there, and specifically a couple programmers and a new community manager. So really excited for that. The community manager should really help improve communication between us and our fans, because we know that's one thing that we're really lacking, and we definitely admit fault for, that you guys have recognized. So we really want to improve communication with everybody. So having a dedicated community manager that's doing that work every day will be really good for us. Swazzleman, yes, I do remember that we mentioned that to you last time we saw you. As far as Discord's VoIP API, we haven't really looked too much further into that, because we kind of already have these talks with the TeamSpeak people already, and sort of working out the licensing deal for that. So we might already be too far into that to kind of turn it around now and choose a different voice. Agent 00, good to see you again, man. I remember you from the Asylum Altus Life days. Riamo, so I've over the past year have taken over the role of producer. So I'm less the community manager now and more the team producer. And what that entails is kind of assigning tasks for people, fixing some of the issues that go wrong, getting things into the engine. So a lot of my job is finding all the reference images for everybody's tasks and assigning them through our team management software, making sure everybody's working within the designated hours, making sure that they're just doing their jobs. And then if they're not, we just talk about it.
Yeah.
Get things back on track.
Bullying people into like doing mundane tasks like this, I think.
Yeah. So when our artists get a very boring task like making a fire extinguisher, they have me to blame.
It's all good. I don't mind. I'm just glad to be back doing it.
Quantum Rick, yes, you do have permanent insurance for your Budge vehicle. We're really against causing people to lose things that they've spent real money on. So we try to avoid anything that might result in the loss of something you spent real money for. So yeah, you'll have permanent insurance for your pledge vehicle. Traxxas Boy 520. Yes, we did say that we were going to look at consoles after full launch. We still plan to do that. We haven't begun to look at consoles, but we still plan to at least look at what it will involve to port Identity to consoles after launch. No promises on that, of course, because we don't have a clue what that's going to take. You're absolutely right, Mike Burma. This is actually really exciting for me to watch.
Really?
I can't speak for everybody else, but coming from a 3D modeling background, I really like watching different artists.
It's funny you say that because obviously I've been streaming daily on this, and I get the same response by everyone else. They're like, "Oh, it's so therapeutic just sitting there watching your model."
Yeah,
I was like, really?
You know what's especially interesting to me is that you're modeling in Maya, and I use 3D Studio Max myself, so it's really cool for me to see somebody doing the same things that I do in Max, but with Maya, a software I have less experience with.
I did try it, Max, and I did eventually get on with it, but yeah, I just think I work better with Maya. I mean, obviously, I'm originally started in Cinema 4D.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I trained in that at uni, and obviously because I was doing it part time because I had a full time job, and they all, all the people that were full time come back in the new year, and they all started doing Maya, and I was extremely jealous, and so I ended up downloading the what they call the student version.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought just sod it, so I ended up learning it, and I just did weeks and weeks of tutorials, and here I am.
Yeah, very cool.
Here I am modelling a fire extinguisher.
And I hope you're excited that you'll be modeling the case after this fire extinguisher.
Oh, of course, yeah. I don't know, I'm going to sleep tonight now, knowing that.
What else did I also gave you another thing to do too. I can't remember what that was.
Yeah, fire alarm.
Oh yes, okay, yeah. So those, I'm sure you guys have seen those in school a lot. But those little fire alarms that you pull the lever on and sets off the alarm and maybe sprinklers inside the building. That's what he'll be doing next after the fire extinguisher.
It's all good fun. It's all good fun.
Oh yeah, if you guys think that this interface is complicated in Maya, wait until you see 3D Studio Max interface. Like it's buttons just everywhere.
I'm still trying to get used to all the obviously not the commands, but I you know, when I trained, it was all in Maya 12 or 10 and 12, and now it's like, well, this is 16. And it's like, oh, I didn't know it could do that. Well, that's new. Oh, even some of the UV mapping stuff. Oh, it's just so much better now, so much easier.
Absolutely, yeah. 3D Studio Max itself has come a long way too in that regard. I remember, I think before 2014 version, I was using 2009 3D Studio Max, and that was a huge jump, like in feature capability.
No, it just seems to improve loads every single time.
With every iteration for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. When's beta coming out? It's already out. I've been playing it.
But just so we don't confuse anybody, beta isn't out yet. We don't have an exact date for you guys, but we're working as fast as we can. The pace that. Just as fast as we can. We're trying to. We have several artists producing assets every day, so we're more excited than you guys are to get it out.
Right.
What's up, Lord Tormus? Any office picture updates? Kind of. Actually, I have. Oops. I think I have a picture of the office most recently. So we have desks now. That's a big improvement. We actually have a place to put the computers. Here, let me send this to you, Lee, and then you can show this off on stream. Yeah, that's it. So that's the latest progress update on the office situation that we're kind of getting together. Lee will show it to you in a moment when he's done with what he's doing. In the office, there's room for 10 people, but initially we'll probably have 4 or 5 people to start for a while. And what's great about our contract, our lease agreement, is that we can tear up the lease agreement and move up to a bigger space if we need it, should we surpass the 10 people capacity limit. That office is real. That's the office that we're moving into up in Canada. We'll be trying to move a few people there as well as hiring locally in that area. Yeah, sometimes it's a little confusing whether it's real or CG sometimes with some of the
It's lies. I modelled that.
But what you don't see in that picture is all the computers, the stuff that hasn't been set up. I'm sure it has by now, but because this picture is a week old, So I'm sure John over at the office has already set up most of the stuff in the office, most of the furnishings. What about a workshop? Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I was
Oh.
just sighing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, what about a workshop so the community can model stuff for you? Just it's something that we've kind of considered in the past, and um, we have we're sort of like it's sort of debatable because we have really high standards, and we can't really expect players to our community members who would be modeling things to uphold our standards because like they put all this work into something and we don't think it's good enough for the game and we tell them sorry we can't use that. It's really off-putting to be told that. So so unfortunately we'd prefer to pay artists for their work, and we feel a little more comfortable doing that anyway because it doesn't really feel right to accept free labor for a job this challenging.
When you tell them they're not
Riamo.
working and they just keep asking questions.
So Riamo, yes, I'll be moving to Canada. I'm working that out right now with my work visa application. It is a really long process. Could take 7 or 8 months. So once that gets sorted out, I will be moving to Canada and working from the office. As you probably, if you've been following along with the Identity Progress already, you'll know that I have been to Canada several times to kind of help along with things where needed. But I always end up coming back here to the U.S. until I can get that sorted out. The office is in Kanata, Ottawa, Ontario. It's a really high tech place.
I want to go.
It's really cool. I love that place, especially the food. Like I can't stress enough. Like the food there is so much better than what I can find where I live.
Yeah.
Shawarma is my favorite Lebanese food. Like it's just amazing. I'd eat that every day. The only problem is that like you get these garlic potatoes, and the garlic from those potatoes makes your breath stink for days on end. And if if I could just avoid offending everybody that I breathe near after eating garlic potatoes, I'd eat that food every day, for sure. Oh, I've had poutine. Absolutely, there's poutine everywhere in Canada. Poutine is as common in Canada as I would say chili cheese fries is in the U.S. for sure. So poutine is just fries with gravy and cheese curds. So wherever you might find poutine in Canada, you'd find the equivalent of chili cheese fries in the U.S.
Right, now I'm just setting the foundation for adding like the lip, and then I'm going to add the glass on the front.
Sweet, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure on the cost, Keeve Steer. That's more John's territory to kind of figure out what the pricing will be on server rentals for private servers in Identity. But yeah, we haven't really gotten that to that point where we have decided what the rental cost will be.
Oh, excuse me.
Quantum Rick, yes, you can have marijuana plants in your home. There's actually a hydroponics table that you can place in your house, and you can grow your own marijuana. So for those that aren't really clear about what I'm talking about, Identity does have a narcotics aspect to it. You don't have to get involved in that kind of gameplay if you don't want to. You know, some of you might find getting involved in drugs and that sort of crime is not really your forte, and that's okay. You can live your life in Identity without ever committing a crime. We try to balance it between police, criminals, and civilians.
Ugh. You give me your cold.
You pass it on to you over the microphone.
Yeah.
Right. We could do something like that, Quantum Rick, where perhaps it reduces stress, but also debuffs you in a different way. It's an interesting thought. How many people per server in Town Square? It's probably going to be about 50 people per Town Square server, I'm guessing, because the Town Square just isn't built for a lot of people. You know, it's a little social lobby, and it's not really designed for the massive amount of people that will be in the full game. The Town Square is just a social lobby module that we're producing ahead of the beta or launch. Yeah, maybe like a reaction time debuff for that, Quantum. Could do something like that. Well, I'll have to get creative. Maybe it takes longer to pull up your weapon. Or some other thing. Quantum Brick, I think you'll be able to paint in the Town Square. I think you'll also be able to write books, too. I think both of those are in Town Square. I know the painting is for sure, but I think the book part is also part of Town Square, if I recall from John. I oversee the art development side of Identity, so I don't ask too many questions about what the programmers are doing. And that would be one of those things that would be on their plate. No problem, Quantum. So we do have about 10 minutes left before we kind of we switch gears here and get into gaming hour. So gaming hour, if you guys aren't used to being there with us for that, It's kind of a thing where we play games together as a group within our company to kind of improve communication, camaraderie, and also for you guys to kind of get to know us better as people. So in about 10 minutes, Lee will put this on hold until he's able to finish it. He'll probably stream it on his channel later on.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into gaming.
Yeah. If people are interested in watching it more often, like I say, I'm streaming every day, so work, everything I'm working on, I'm currently always streaming.
Yeah, here let me give you guys a link to Lee's channel, and I'll also put this on Twitter too, so that those in the Twitterverse can find Lee's work beyond what he's doing now.
Trying to build up a following, as you do.
Yeah. So Lee's been streaming his work for like several days now, and he's trying to build up his follower base. So please, definitely, when you get a chance, check out his stream and follow him if you really like what he's doing. But let me get a link for you guys. Here is Lee's Twitch channel. Top Gun Guy, yes, you can definitely apply to join our development team still. We're always hiring, especially for programmers and artists. If you go to asylumentertainment.ca and you apply for a job through there, we'll definitely review it within a day or two and get back to you if we like what you got. But yes, this is Lee's Twitch channel. Please definitely check him out and follow him. Hopefully, you get some notifications shortly of new followers.
Hopefully, got my first donation the other day.
Sweet, yeah, sweet. Yeah, they're starting to come in. I can see a couple of them.
I can hear it.
Very cool. Yeah, so just as a reminder, Top Gun Guy, if you want to apply to join our team, definitely go to asylumentertainment.ca, and you can apply from there. asylumentertainment.ca. Sorry, I'm talking too fast.
I'm deafening by the follows.
Oh, is it making noise on your end?
Like, ding, ding, ding. My emails
That's
all
funny.
coming up now, look. Thank you anyway, guys. I've just I can say it now because the wife's in bed, but yeah, I've just got a professional artist to make me a stream overlay and stuff, and asked them to, to incorporate my work and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
it's costing me a bit, but.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for going to his channel and following him. I know Lee definitely really appreciates that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be streaming constantly. I mean, obviously, whenever I'm working, I stream, so, which is obviously every day.
So while you kind of wrap things up here, I'm gonna try to get a hold of John and the others that will be playing during the gaming hour with us, and see where they're at.
Where are you? There you are. how I was saying, to the guy I said who's the publisher that wants to speak to John. I was talking to him today, and I was saying I've got a stream tonight. I said I've been doing it all the time, since I've been on my own channel.
Yeah.
I said, but he's like, "What, you're worried?" I was like, "Well," I said, "I've never had lessons like with Maya, and I'm like, imagine if there's a professional modeler on there and he's sitting there thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? Why is he doing it like that?" But I don't know. I've just, all I'd done was follow tutorials and and trained and trained and trained. I mean, obviously, when I was saying that they were all learning Maya, I was so determined. I just sat there for weeks on end, every night, just learning, just watching tutorials. And I've had a few people ask me, how do they get into it? And if someone wants it that bad, then, just go and train. I mean,
they just sort of...
YouTube is your friend.
There's tons of resources, especially on YouTube for sure. Everything you need to know to get into 3D modeling is available online for free if you just look for it.
I had my niece up. She come round. What's that? Last Sunday, because she really wanted to learn it. And I taught her. She spent the day, and then I left her alone to go and model up her own thing, and she did.
Oh, very cool!
Literally within, I was just shocked.
Yeah, it's not hard for anybody to do. You just, I mean, I do think that modeling requires a little bit of artistic sense to kind of to sort of know where like proportions and scale of things, But even without that, you can get pretty far just learning on your own.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the biggest thing, obviously, with art is that people think it's just, you've got to be extremely talented to be an artist. It's 20% talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
The rest of it, the rest of the 80% is how, it's practice.
Yeah.
It's how much you practice. And,
definitely. So let me try to drag Paratus into this real quick. See if.
Oh no, that's the boss.
I gotta immediately tell him that we're streaming so he doesn't accidentally.
Yeah, I just thought to let you know the game's released tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's a joke, by the way, everyone that's listening.
Yeah.
Just clarify that. I've had to learn the hard way of that. Sometimes jokes don't carry across that way.
No. Yeah, definitely not. Like we've learned that lesson the hard way too. Sometimes we like to joke around about like when how long something will take or be, and people immediately gets taken seriously. So we have to explain ourselves. And then, all right, so there's that. Let me try Sohn.
Here comes the boss. Oh, not Sohn. He's not boss.
John didn't answer, so I'm assuming that he will not be with us today.
Wow.
And Sohn is usually only available like sometime like 5 minutes after.
Oh, I missed it yesterday. I was gutted.
What did we? The gaming app?
Vermintide, yeah. I've got to put it in my.
Oh, yeah.
I've just got to remember.
Yeah, that's okay. All right. Well, I think it might just be us two today.
Cool.
Because neither of these guys have answered. So we could probably play some PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So just in a moment here, guys, we're going to be switching over to a video game. To start our gaming hour stream. And what I'll probably have Lee do in just a couple of minutes is to shut down the stream here, just so I can upload that video to YouTube.
Yeah.
And then move over to the gaming hour.
I'll do it whenever you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I want to thank you all for coming today, guys. All of you guys that joined us just to watch Lee make this fire extinguisher. We really appreciate your support. We love you guys. Yeah, it's really starting to look like a fire extinguisher now. I'm I'm sure when he started, some people were like, "How is this going to?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
trust me, guys. I think exactly the same thing, and I'm sitting there. How the hell am I going to make that? I mean, I've made a lot of things in the past where you just constantly do it under one model, and I just like trying to UV it and everything. It was just a nightmare. So I've sat back down, reevaluated and everything, and I just think, you know what? Everything has to be done box model. So, like for this, you've got the cylinder, you've got this bit here, you've got obviously it's going to be a bit delayed behind, but then you've got that bit, and then you've got another bit, and then you've got the handle. It makes modelling and makes UV and it makes preparing everything for the texturing side of things that much easier. And where I've come back from the industry after having 5 years out, whatever, I had to relearn that, and yeah, it's been a nice process, but yeah, it's been a tough one.
yeah, well, you've definitely come back into it, so it's.
Yeah. I suppose at the end of the day, it's the end result, isn't it? What I'll save this and then I'll show people some of the stuff that I've been doing recently.
Yeah.
Well, just render-wise, I won't go into. So obviously, people have seen the paint pots. There's obviously loads of different types.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just wrap it up. You can show them the paint buckets that you just did.
Yeah.
Um,
I do put some
nice references.
Oh, wrong button. My favourite one. I really like the dumpster. That new dumpster I've done.
Yeah. The dumpster looks great. Yeah.
Just a few of the things we've been doing recently.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, my favorite part about this render is that you have those like drips coming off the lip of the dumpster. The dirty stains. I love that. That's my favorite part.
That's the thing. Sometimes I just go through and I spend like half an hour just trying a load of things and thinking, do you know what, I can't. That looks crap. And then I'll just try a different alpha and a different brush. And I'm like, wow, that's it. It just pops out.
That's what you were looking for, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, this painting thing's completely new to me, and I'm loving it. Absolutely, I keep finding new things out every time I'm opening it up, which is quite.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, I'll close this down.
All right, guys, we'll be right back in just a minute. I guess.
I can carry on streaming. I don't mind
okay, all right, cool. Yeah, so if you just want to end the stream and then start it back up, just so the video will process, and then I would just want to say thank you everybody for joining us. We're going to be starting our gaming hour stream. We do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. No, it doesn't take up any development time or resources from the development of Identity. This is outside of work hours for Lee.
Yep.
And it's like 8 o'clock at night for him. And for myself, I don't even get paid to do this. So no development resources. When we're playing games during gaming hour, it is just a relationship building exercise, as well as for you guys to get to know us better. But thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back. And peace.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.